I've got COVID at the moment, so I'm stuck off the water. So I thought I'd give you a video with 5 tips on how to enjoy learning to wing foil more. First one is make sure there's enough wind. Do not go out in less than 15 knots, at least 15 knots. I would highly encourage you that if you're learning to go out in about 17 or 18 knots, depending on the temperature of the air where you live. When you're learning, you don't know what you're doing wrong, so you don't know what it feels like to be pumping properly with the wing and with the foil, and so you're just sort of wasting your time if you're trying to learn in light wind. One of my pet peeves about YouTube at the moment is there's so many videos about light wind winging that as you come in with your naivety, you have no awareness of how difficult light wind winging is. And by difficult, I mean it's exhausting. It can be exhausting. That would be my number one tip. Make sure you go out and learn in stronger winds. If you would go out and kite surf without any specialized gear, that's when I'd go out. So for me, I go out in 18 knots and I'm on a 5-meter wing. I'm 95 kilos. So my second tip is make sure the water's deep enough. And this might seem pretty dumb, but you get overexcited and you try and do things that you probably shouldn't. I went out in a river mouth and the tide was going out and the water was probably about 80 to 85 centimeters deep. I did not have a good time. I ran into many sandbanks and the wind was marginal on top of that. So as soon as the wind's marginal, you need pump to stay up on foil. So highly recommend that you only go in deep water when you're learning. As you progress, I can now do it, but definitely learning, make sure it's a nice deep channel and preferably flat water. The third tip is more about your psychology. Learning to wing is really hard. I think it's easier for people that have come from windsurfing, but I think having come from kite surfing, it's really frustrating. It is enraging. I have lost my voice swearing out in the ocean a couple of times because I was getting so frustrated. And so hopefully if you avoid doing some of these things that I've already told you and that I'll continue to tell you, you might avoid those things because you really want to enjoy your time. I think we're at my fourth. The fourth is get a big wing. Now obviously there are some wings that have really early lift that are a small surface area, but I would say you need something around 1800, 2000 to 2400 square meter size in order to have early lift to enjoy yourself. It's easier to go upwind as well. So I use my 2140 Nash wing even when it's quite strong wind. I probably won't keep doing that, but learning was a game changer. As soon as I got a 2140 wing, it was just so much easier. Like I say, I'm 95 kilos, so I'm a heavier guy, but maybe an 1800 or something of that nature is so worth it. So second to that is board size. Now I didn't go the convenient route, and I'll make a whole video about this, about board volume, but I am riding a 75 litre board and I'm 95 kilos. So I actually bought a 95 litre board from the shop and took it back the same day. So, and downsized to the 5.0 Fanatic Skywing. So I'll make a video about that because I have some thoughts to share, and it's all up for debate. So if you think it's a hard and fast rule that you should ride a bigger board, let me know. But I think if you're learning, you should be learning in strong wind, and so the board volume doesn't matter as much, and you'll learn the right techniques. So I think they sort of can cancel each other out, but in an ideal world, I'd have a 120 litre board, my 75 litre board, and I have my 45 litre board, but I'm not made of money. So, and my fifth tip is learn on flat water. And I know that seems pretty obvious, but I was an idiot and a bit too keen and learnt in a river mouth that often had waves, and it was so infuriating because you've got current pulling you out, and current does play a role in how easy it is to get up, though. It's not like kite surfing where there's usually enough pull of the kite to overcome things like current. Sometimes the current is so much so that you can't overcome the wind because it's taking you with the wind. So learn in a flat river spot. So for those on the Sunshine Coast, you need to be down at Caloundra, and so yeah, for wherever that is for you, that's where you need to go. So I don't know if I have a 6. I was going to give you a bonus 6, but I don't think I do. I'll save that for another video. And sorry there isn't any beautiful footage to overlay this with. I've got COVID at the moment, and I had toe surgery, so I'm sort of grounded at the moment, but hopefully those tips help, and happy winging.